All right, everyone, welcome to another great episode of The Struggles of Entrepreneurship. Today we have a very special guest. Not only does she do bookkeeping, but she also helps us teach English as a second language. So without further ado, Ms. Maida, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us today.
And thank you for having me.
So you do two very important things in this world. One, you teach us how you keep our bookkeeping straight for business owners, which keeps the economy going, which is great. And
Hmm.
two, you teach English to keep our language going. So
Yes.
elaborate a little bit more on what you do, what got you there, and how is it that you do it, please?
Okay. Well, I've been working in accounting for the past 30 years for many very different companies, like a few years here and there. Over the 30 years, I've been doing mostly accounts payable, some receivables, bank reconciliations and journal entries. So, and a lot of it was because the companies were way behind on their work, and they needed an extra person to bring them up to date. So that's where I would come in. They'd show me, they train me, and they steer me in the right direction, and then I'd do the work, and they would be up to date, and I'd say, oh, there's no more work. So, and now I'm at the point where I find it hard working like the 9 to 5, 5 days a week. So I'm looking, I'd like to do that part time and then have my own clients as well. So that's the accounting side. And the teaching English side, I think I discovered that later on when I saw that I enjoyed teaching people English. I love to travel and I love to meet new people, and I enjoy helping people better their lives. So and a lot of them, they need English in order to move forward in their lives. So it makes me happy when I can help somebody to do that. And I've had a few students, and I've also done some volunteer English teaching in a few places, a few of my travels.
Well, that's very interesting. So tell us, how did you discover that English was something that you're passionate for teaching English?
Let me think. Because I love to help others, whether it's doing accounting work or English. I like to. I'm a helper, so I like to help people. And with the English, as I said, I'm helping them to improve their lives, and it makes one feel good when they can do that.
Yes. Awesome. So tell me, have you always been this caring person?
I would say yes, I have.
So who were you in high school?
Who was I? I was a quieter person. I was shy, and I guess I was a late bloomer, but then I did bloom as I went along, and I finally had my first boyfriend in my last year of high school.
Awesome. So late bloomer, that's great. Great to know, right? It's like we say, as entrepreneurs, we're at different levels, and high school is not, or school overall is not the best way for us, and we go through it differently. Some people barely make it. Some people
Mm,
bloom in the middle of it, right? Some people that's all they're made for.
yeah.
I had a guest on earlier, and he was talking about how academically he was one of the best in school, and that kind of pushed up his ego so much that when he hit the real world, he realized that what the school grades say doesn't matter.
Right.
And he hit the wall with that, and I mean sometimes that just happens.
For sure. You learn along the way.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about like you doing bookkeeping for so many companies. What made you realize that you can do it on your own?
Because I have more freedom that way. If I don't work for somebody else, where I'm on the payroll, I can work when I want. I could take vacation when I want. I could take a break. Like I make my own hours, work as many days as I want, go on vacation whenever I want. When you're working for a company, I mean, it's great and everything. People are nice, but you have to take vacation when, you can't really take vacation when you want. Like it has to be during the quieter time, and then other people, you have to coincide with other people. So you can't really have things under your control all the time.
So at some point, you just wanted to have that liberty, that freedom to be able to do your own time, control your day.
Yes, yes.
And how's that been working out for you?
Well, it's been slow, like it's I'm still learning how to get clients, and I guess there's still a lot of tricks that I don't know, but in the Savvy network, I'm learning some new things. I'm part of that challenge, so I'm learning a lot from it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, happy to hear that you're always trying to find something new and challenging yourself as opposed to just giving up, right? And just
Yeah,
sticking to what's easy, right? So a lot of times when we have our listeners, a lot of them saying like, "Hey, I would love to start my business, but I just don't have money, or I don't have the time, or I don't know where to start." Right?
right,
Or, "Hey, I'm just too comfortable. My paycheck's too good for me to want to do anything else, and why risk it?" And a lot of
right.
times we get stuck in that position, and it's good to hear entrepreneurs like yourself where you say, "Hey, I don't know enough. I need to keep learning," because that's really what it is.
Yeah, yeah, because I feel that way too. I like right now I need a job for security, like I'm not one of those. Some people don't mind taking the risks and look, don't mind giving up the job and doing all that, but I feel I need some security because I have bills to pay, and so and so I need the job, and then I have to fit in the business, the entrepreneurial side of things. So it's not easy.
It's not easy at all. So, what would you say would be your biggest challenge that you're facing today?
Um, Finding clients. I would say
Finding,
finding clients, and or once you meet people, being able to bring them in for a set, convert them to a sale, because I can meet, and also like people wanting to pay a lot less than I'm asking because they're saying, "Oh, I come from this country, the teachers there only get paid this, and the salaries are low. I can't afford to pay this. I can only afford to pay that." So that's a bit of a challenge too.
yeah. So it's and like that's everybody trying to start a business, right? Finding the clientele, find the right clientele, find the clientele that's willing to pay. But it really comes
Hmm.
down to one as a business owner, you have to know who your target audience is. You have to say, "Hey,
Right.
I'm going to target this such person, and they make this amount of money, and this is what they spend money on." And I think that that's what takes time because at some point we want to service everybody. I mean, we need to make a sell. We need to get it.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, I want to just buy whatever I'm selling.
And I
And
want to help people too, the ones that are less fortunate. But I mean, the ones that are less fortunate, they can't pay. So it's,
yeah, well,
but I want to help them.
I'll give you a personal experience on that. So when I decided to start my business 5 years ago, I was all like helping startups grow their business. That was my whole thing. Like I'm a website developing company helping startups.
Hmm.
Well, 3 years into it, I realized that startups don't have any money, and I was having trouble getting paid, and I was having trouble paying my own stuff. So I
Mm.
said, okay, well, I love to help, but the people I want to help can't pay me what I need to pay, so I can continue to help. So I
Right.
decided to switch my niche to more
Hmm.
established companies that have a certain amount of return. And because I wanted to help, then I decided I can volunteer an hour to a month and give back that way.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I feel it's like a more a win-win.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Win-win. To get paid, but I have to give too. I was just talking with somebody, a coach, and she said, you got to give. You can't just think. You can't just get. You got to give too. And I see that she's right.
And we'll go ahead and follow that right there. So you mentioned a coach. Today, for the four, actually, yeah, the four guests, including yourself, have all mentioned the power of a coach. Can you tell us what a coach has done for you and how's that changed your business or your mindset?
I find with the coach, they provide accountability. So you tell them what you want for your goals and what actions you're going to take, and then when you meet with them the following week, you tell them if you took the actions that you said you were going to take. And I find that's effective.
Yeah, as business owners, sometimes we work alone and
Yeah.
we talk to ourselves, we talk to a mirror, and having accountability is it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge because at the end of the day, what gets you to be a successful business owner is discipline. And the only
Right.
way you become disciplined is through accountability.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Somebody has
Yeah.
to hold you accountable for it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's good to hear that we're on the same page. So tell us, what is something that you so now that you're an entrepreneur, you're doing it for yourself, you realize something that you can do, that's something that you can accomplish. Now that you know that you can do it, yeah, it's not easy getting a client. Yeah, it's not something security, but you know you can do it. You know that if you stick to it, you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Right.
How do you feel now that you know that you can do it from before when you were afraid that it couldn't happen?
Well, I feel encouraged. I know it may not take time, but whatever steps I can take, even small ones, I know that eventually things will start to come together.
Yeah, see that's really what it is. You see the long term picture of it.
Hmm.
You understand that it's gonna
Yeah.
build up and it just doesn't come.
Right.
And a lot of times when we start a business, the first thing we want is for it just to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So what do you do for fun besides teaching and bookkeeping?
Um, well, right now we have winter in Montreal. We have a lot. We just had a huge snowstorm, and I love to go snowshoeing and skiing. So I do a lot of outdoor sports. And in the spring, summer, and fall, I go hiking. And what else do? I like to travel. I like to walk. I like to get together with my friends, socialize, meet people, reading, movies. Stuff like that.
Yeah, you're very normal. Really, well, the point of that question really is to have our listeners understand that it's entrepreneurs are everywhere, right? We love to do everything they love to do.
Hmm.
We just do it. We just have a passion to do it, and we follow through with it, and we take
Right.
risks.
Hmm.
Um, can you tell us one of the biggest struggles that you faced lately, and how you overcame it?
Hmm. Well, the struggle is, doing the actions I say I'm going to do. It's like I think part of it is feeling overwhelmed, and I say, oh, I have time this week. I should. It'll be a good idea for me to work on the business and do this. And then each day comes, it's like, oh, I don't feel like it, or oh, I don't know where to start. And I feel that having the accountability partner gets me to do these things. And I think also the network challenge also is getting me to do all these steps, which I never would do on my own. So
Yeah,
I think having someone there doing it with me, because I find when I'm by myself, I don't always do it unless push comes to shove. If I find myself that I know I'm not going to get any more money from the employment insurance or whatever, then I say, oh, I got to find a job. So I call every agency, I apply to every ad, and then I get something. So I think I'm more when a push comes to shove. But I mean, I know it would be better if I started earlier and did like a little bit each day.
yeah. Of course, instead of having to trying to rush out the last minute and get it out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. So let's talk a little bit about business. What are some resources that you use? Sorry about that. What are some resources that you use that help you grow your business?
Um, Networking events, Facebook groups. I guess people who run the events and the groups, reading different articles, listening to talks and stuff like that.
Yeah, networking seems to be very powerful for entrepreneurs. Word of mouth is
Hmm.
still the best marketing you can have.
Yes.
And when people with the internet, we seem to lose of it. But you mentioned something very important: Facebook groups. Facebook group is a really good way to you reach out to many people from the comfort of your home.
Right. Right. But I was speaking to this person, and she had a Facebook group, and she said, like she found after a while people weren't engaging anymore, and they wanted, like she found it hard to manage after a while. So while some people say it's a great thing, I guess it depends.
Yeah, well, it really comes about building a community,
Hmm.
not just having a group where there's one person leading it, but it's a matter of having a discussion and having people jump into that discussion and being a resource point for people.
Right.
right? Instead of just seeing it as I go in this group and they always pitch to sell me something.
Oh, right.
Right. Yeah. So good. What kind of social media do you use? What platforms do you use, and how do you use it to grow your business?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn, and so I have more of the bookkeeping stuff, the accounting stuff on LinkedIn. So I have like a lot of recruiters or people looking at my profile, and some approaching me saying they have jobs, that job prospects. And well, Facebook, I just have a regular profile.
So on Facebook, you don't have a business page for your accounting yet.
No, or my English or anything.
That'd probably be a good way for you to help you get some clients.
Through a group or a page?
Both. Both.
Really?
Yeah. Like for example, you would start a Facebook business page for your classes in English, right? And then a Facebook business page for your other one,
the accounting.
The accounting, and then you would post on there regularly, like, "Hey, you need help with your accounting," and then you would ask your friends to come like the page, and then whenever your friends like the post, their friends would see it, and then from there you would be able to get clients.
Right. Yeah, but I'd want to use it to attract like very busy entrepreneurs, who can't do their own stuff.
Yeah, again, your messaging would just have to reflect that. Right?
Yeah.
But like, for example, let's just say we're going to call it M&M Bookkeeping. If I see a post from M&M Bookkeeping and it shows a video of an entrepreneur that's pulling their hair out like me, and if they need help with accounting, I'll be like, now I can relate. Right? But that page allows you to do those type of posts and reach those type of people.
I see.
That might be a good way for you to start and help you grow your business a little faster.
Okay.
So we're going to ask you, where are some things that where you, sorry, I was reading word by word and that did not sound like me. So what's something that as an entrepreneur that you're curious about now for the future?
Curious about, what am I curious about? I guess, will I be able to make it as an entrepreneur? Will I still work part-time in a job and then do the entrepreneurial thing on the side, or will I be able to partially retire? So that, just what will be my future?
You're still you're curious about where it's going to go, where it's going to head.
Yeah.
So for our listeners that would be interested in learning English or would be interested in your bookkeeping services, where can they find you?
Well, I have a website. It's called yourhelpfulassistant.com. And both my English and my bookkeeping are on there. And then I'm on I have a LinkedIn profile as well for the bookkeeping, accounting.
Okay. And for you listening, guys, I'm going to make sure I add that information in the description of this podcast with links so you guys can link out to her and reach out to her. And for you, I have one more final question, ma'am. If you had a billboard, what would your billboard say?
Let me think. I will help you lessen your workload so you can spend time on your business, with your family, pursuing your hobbies, and I will help you improve your English skills so you can speak perfectly. something like that.
Yeah. So you would show them how you can help them enjoy time with their family.
Yes.
And that's really
or focus on their business so they can be more productive or pursue their hobbies.
And I mean, so you're dealing with their emotions. I like how you think. You're going to hit them where it hurts.
Right.
I like how that works. All right. So you guys heard it here first. If you guys need any bookkeeping, if you guys want to learn English, please reach out to her. I am going to go ahead and put the links on her. Ms. Maida, thank you for being on our podcast today. Thank you for joining.
And thank you very much for having me. It's been an interesting experience.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have any final words for our listeners, our entrepreneurs who are thinking about jumping off that cliff into the entrepreneurship world?
Just keep at it and take small steps. No matter what happens, don't give up. Just keep going and going, and get people on your side to help you, so they can push you to just keep going and just never give up.
Awesome. All right, guys. You guys heard it. Do not give up. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Maida, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.